Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. It's Monday, it's 9 o'clock. It is time for a 5x5. Now, if you don't know what 5x5 is, it's one of my favourite videos of the week. The idea is I talk about 5 different topics. I give myself 5 minutes to talk about each topic. There is a timer down below at the bottom of the screen. With the timer hits 0, I move on to the next topic. It is quick, it is snappy, and you never know what you're going to get. Now, today I'm going to be talking about 5 topics, and the first thing that I'm going to be doing for you guys is talking about a live performance. We're going to be showing you a live performance. A lot of people comment on the 5x5 videos saying, oh, they want more live videos, they want more videos at gigs. So that's what I'm trying to do for you. So the first video is a live performance. Let me explain what I'm doing here. This is at a wedding, and the group of people that I'm performing for have been drinking, especially the main guy that I'm performing for. He's been drinking a lot, but everyone has. And it's kind of after the wedding breakfast, it's late afternoon. A lot of people have been getting a little bit tipsy, and they're all kind of very challenging spectators. Now, I've talked about dealing with hecklers before in the past, but this is just another example where I can kind of actually show you how I dealt with a performance when there's quite a few people that are being challenging, to say the least, right? And I've done videos in the past on dealing with hecklers and dealing with angles and audience management and all this stuff. And you can see all of this in this video. You can see how I deal with the one particular guy who is following the routine or helping me with the routine. You can also see how I deal with everybody else as well, because people are watching from every single angle. And it's really important when you're performing in that environment, you get everybody involved. And what do you do if somebody goes, you'll see at one point in the routine, someone goes, oh, I saw what you did there, or he's going to do this. And you see me just gloss over it and move on immediately. You can see how I actually get the reactions I get. Now, the routine I'm performing is card under box. So it's a routine that's kind of a little bit ballsy, it's a little bit angly, but because I'm aware of where everyone is and I'm aware of where the type of people I'm performing for, it's totally not an issue at all. So let's have a look at that video first of all. We're going to do a full live performance so you can see it. If you have any questions about what's happening in this video, let me know in the comments down below. But here it is, a live performance of Card in the Box at a wedding where a few people have been drinking quite heavily. But you're going to pick a number card, not a picture card. It's not like a jack or a queen or a king. Any card with a number on, grab a number card out. Lovely. When you got the card, do me a favour, go ahead and show all your friends.
Oh, he said you can't have that.
Yeah, not a picture card, a number card.
No picture card.
It's okay. No, mate, it's my fault. I shouldn't have picked you. We'll try again. Okay, grab a number card. Any number card.
Right, so it's not
Have you ever helped a magician before? You're not helping one now, so just grab
a number.
We learn about people like you in magic school, to be honest, mate. There you go. Show the cards, everyone.
There you go, better.
Okay.
There you go. Now I'm going to give you a pen. What you can do, you can take the pen and you're going to write your name on the face of the card. Not on the back, on the face. Not on your face, on the face of the card. Big letters, write your name.
The card I've got.
Yeah, the card you have.
He knows you well.
What's your name?
I've been doing this for 25 years. I've never met anyone like you before. Right.
Your name.
Your name.
He's going to write your name now. You know what you're doing. Obviously, write your name.
I'm going to help him.
Okay. All right, okay, guys. This is where things get interesting. You can put the card back. Just say stop.
Stop.
Put it back there. Nicely done. So I'm going to try and find your card. Do you want to move the handbag so everyone can see? So I'm going to try and find your card, and I'm going to show you the difference between sleight of hand and real magic, right? So sleight of hand means the hand is faster than the eye. So if I take one card and one card only out the pack, this card right here, the 6 of spades, that's not your card. No. 1 down, 51 to go. It's a long trick. Takes a while. We'll get there. Watch the 6. I'll wave it over the card box. Now, most magicians do this face down. I'm going to do it face up. I'm going to wave it over the card box. When I do, with any luck, that 6 changes in mid-air into the 10 with your name. Yes! Now, that's not real magic. Real magic looks like this. Take half the cards.
I've never seen it.
We'll do it again. I'll go slow. Spread the cards out.
No, do it.
Spread the cards out.
Yeah.
No, your cards. Spread them out.
Your cards out.
Spread your cards.
Spread your cards out, my man.
All right.
Towards me. You're being the magician, right? Parallel to the there you go. You know what? You're amazing. You are, man. Right? Okay, look. I'm going to put you. Never. What was your name?
He doesn't know. He doesn't know.
At this point, you just don't give a shit, do you? Right now.
How did you get that card?
His name was Tom.
Never trust. Hang on. Right. Okay. Give them one shuffle. Give the cards a shuffle. There you go. And then put them right there on the packet on the table. Okay.
You asked the wrong fucker.
I know. I'm beginning to regret my choices in life right now. Put the cards there. So do I. That makes two of us. Put the card there.
So on top of that?
Yep.
That's what you said?
Yeah. Well done. Right. Watch, here we go. 1, 2, 3. That's real magic. You see, when I do that, one card flies up in the air invisibly. It did 6 somersaults, I counted. And even though the box has been on the table the whole time, check this out. Under the box, there's one card. Turn it over. Show everybody. It's the one with the I know! No, hang on. Shit just got real. Look, it's not. Look. I'll tell you how. I can't tell you how it works. This is how it doesn't
Pick
work.
that card up.
You know, when I read the script, you didn't even have a speaking role.
Pick that card up.
I know! It's magic! Right, look. Look. My job! I'm my son's life. Shut up!
What about that then? Look for the next thing
No.
now.
This is what most people think I do. They think I put the card on the table, and when you guys aren't looking, I put the box on top. Is that what you thought I did?
No, that's not the wrong card, is it?
No, it is. It's when you do this and this. It's done. It's what you
showed
me. Every time.
No.
Do you see the signature? Watch the card. Watch the card. Halfway down, say go.
Go.
Did you see it go?
No.
Not the card, the whole pack.
No.
Not playing cards off. I'm going to put it there. Look, the card goes down in the middle. Put your finger gently on top. Now watch, test conditions. I'm going to get the card underneath the box again. Now, what was your name? Sam, if you think I've cheated, you can have a tiny peek underneath. I'm a little bit offended by that. Look, whatever. Okay. 1, 2, 3. If I told you it was under there now, would that be good?
Yeah.
Have a look. That would have been good. If you want to see that, you need to get him to book Dynamo. Now look. Lift up your finger. So I've gone one step further because now there's one card inside the box. One card inside the box. Take that card. If that's your card, they're going to go crazy. Look at that. Look. Every trick needs a big finish. Tom, for you, do you want me to do this in 1, 2, or 3 seconds?
3 seconds. 3 seconds.
I didn't even ask you. How many?
1 second.
3 seconds. Watch.
1 second.
1, 2, 3. Did you see it go? No. I went further. That's when every card in the pack goes, except for the 10. Inside the box, Tom. That is every single card in the pack. Go nuts.
That was fucking unreal, man.
But hang on. You know what? When you go home and tell people about this, you won't tell people about the card going under the box.
We'll talk about
I'll
Tom.
tell people about this. I'll remember you for a long time, Tom. You'll tell people about this moment, Tom. Inside my pocket from the very beginning there's been a wallet. Inside the wallet there's no money. That's because I'm married. Zippered compartment here, Tom. Inside that zippered compartment there's one thing and one thing only, and that's a playing card. Take that card.
Right off.
Take it.
Fuck right off.
Show everybody. It's the one with his name on it.
Oh, come on now, boys.
I didn't even know wizards saw fucking win.
So one thing that you guys have been asking me to do more of in the Q&As and in various comments across various different videos is tell more funny stories. And I have thousands of funny stories. When you've been in the industry as many years as me and you've done as many gigs as me, you're going to get a few funny stories now and again. So let me tell you a couple, or depending on how much time we've got, let me tell you at least one right now. I bet everybody that's watching this that's ever performed professionally has performed at a wedding. I've performed at thousands of weddings. I love performing at weddings. However, there was one time when I was booked to perform the day after the wedding. Now, this is the weirdest gig I've probably ever done. So let me explain the scenario here. I get a phone call from the best man, right, at a wedding. And there's this bride and groom, and they really wanted a magician. but they couldn't afford one for their wedding. They really wanted a magician. They loved magic, but it was they were trying to keep the budget low, and so they decided not to book a magician. And so the best man wanted to do something special for the bride and the groom. So he had an idea that he wanted to run past me. And the idea was to book me, not to perform at the wedding like you would imagine, but actually to perform the next day after the wedding. Now, they were actually holding this wedding in this little country hotel, wonderful little hotel. And what he wanted me to do is he wanted me to go and perform for the bride and groom in their hotel room, in their bridal suite, the day after the wedding. So it was kind of a very exclusive performance just for them. And I was like, yeah, I mean, obviously I could do that. I mean, I could do like a thing. He said, yeah, can you do 2 hours? And I said, you really want somebody there doing 2 hours of magic just for two people? As much as they love magic, that'd probably be a bit too much. And so I talked him down to an hour. So my job was to go and perform for the bride and groom for an hour the day after their wedding. Now, I didn't realise this, and realistically, I should have asked him, but I didn't. I didn't realise that he didn't actually tell the bride and groom that this was the plan. He wanted it to be a surprise. So he wanted me to go to the hotel room at 8 o'clock in the morning and perform for the bride and groom in their hotel room in the bridal suite. The whole thing was just really random. So there's me in my suit, get to the hotel, it's about 7:30, grab myself a drink. I'm like, right, okay. So I had the hotel room, I had absolutely everything. I went up, knocked on the door, no answer. Knocked on the door, no answer. Eventually someone came to the door, and it was obviously the groom, looking very dishevelled, which you would imagine because the night before was his wedding night, and he's probably been shagging his bride senseless all night long, and he's probably hungover, and he's there, and he's like, can I help you? We don't want room service, thanks. I'm like, no, hi there, are you John? Yeah, I am. Yeah, hi, John. The best man has booked me to do magic for you. I'm here to perform magic. He's like, what? I'm here to do magic for you. I'm here to perform magic. Come again. I had to spend about 10 minutes explaining to him what I was there for. And he's like, okay, give me a minute. And then he obviously went to wake up his new wife. I can only imagine how pissed off she was about the whole situation. And then about 10 minutes later, he went, yeah, come in. There they were, looking completely hungover, in their dressing gowns, sitting in the bed, because although it was the bridal suite, it wasn't the biggest room in the world, right? There was a seat, and there was nowhere else we could do it. So they were sitting in their bed, sitting up, and there's me, standing at the foot of their bed, going, right, let's do some magic. So my name's Craig, I'm the magician, and I have to do an hour of magic to people. As much as they love magic, they did not want me to be there. I didn't want to be there, but they also didn't want to insult. This was a gift from their best man. I don't think they wanted to insult him either. So we both just got through it. It was an hour of really uncomfortable performing, doing magic in a hotel room at 8 o'clock in the morning to two people that were hungover, and the last thing that they wanted to see was magic. They just wanted to sleep, I think, to be perfectly honest. And that's probably one of the, if not the weirdest gigs I have ever found myself in. The whole thing was a cringe fest all the way through. It was horrible. Let me know down in the comments if you've got a gig that's worse than that, because I've never found anyone that's had a gig as worse as that in my entire life. But if you have, I really want to hear about it. Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, so I want to do a mini review right now. One thing that I like to do on the 5x5 series is review items that are older items that you might not necessarily see on the Craig and Ryland review show, because when we do the review show on a Wednesday, we look at a lot of the newer items, and there's so many new items coming out. We might not get a chance to look at some of the older stuff, but the older stuff is brilliant. So I want to do a review today, a mini review on Etienne Pradier's barking dog. Now, this is something that's been around for a very, very long time. Etienne produces these himself. You can get them directly from his website, magic-product.co.uk, and it is exceptional. For a working professional magician, this is brilliant. What it is, basically, is it's a bulldog clip with a card in it, and it allows you to do a Jay Sankey style paperclip style routine, but without being dirty at any point. And what I mean by that is, if you think about the routine that Jay does with the paperclip, if you've never seen it before, when you take the paperclip off, you're left dirty. You have to put that paperclip away straight away, right? With this, you can have this on display the whole time, and when you take it out, you can just put the bulldog clip down. It just doesn't look like anything, which is really, really nice, because the bulldog clip actually does the switch for you. So if you're doing stuff like mystery card, if you're doing stuff like impossible locations or stranger cards, this is just worth its weight in gold. For a professional working magician, there's no angle considerations to worry about. You don't need a table. You can do this mix and mingle. You can openly put a card inside the bulldog clip and give it to someone to hold on to, or put it in their pocket. And like I say, it's an instant reset. Now, if you haven't watched the Talk Magic interview with Etienne, please do so, because he talks about this on the interview, and he goes into great detail about the pros and cons and what you can do, and he demonstrates lots of different routines with it. I'm going to show you a very simple, quick thing with it right now. So I will bring this out. Well, let me do it. I'll perform it on Sarah for you. So I've got a, Sarah, I've got a folded up card. Can you see that right there inside that bulldog clip? Yep. Folded up card right there. This is my prediction. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, that's an open prediction. And what that means is, I guarantee you in a second, you're going to pick a card. And whichever card you pick, that prediction will match it. I promise you. I'm going to prove this to you right now. I'm going to put that there. I would give it to somebody to hold on to, or put it in their pocket. But you can have any one of those 52 cards. You are going to write your name on it. So maybe one with a bit of white space. Which card would you like?
3 of clubs.
3 of clubs. That's there, right there near the top. Are you happy with the 3 of clubs?
Yeah.
Good stuff. I'm going to put your name on there. In fact, I'm going to change it around a little bit this time. And instead of writing Sarah Petty, I'm going to write Sarah Lou. How's that for you? Mm-hmm. Change it around slightly every single time. So there we go. Now, would you agree that that was a completely free choice?
Yeah.
There is absolutely no way I knew you were going to pick the 3 of clubs. Now, just say stop for me right now.
Stop.
Perfect. I'm going to put that card right there so you can see it. I'll show it you one more time. In fact, you know what I'm going to do, Sarah? I'm going to bury it a little bit further down so it's near the bottom. How's that? Is that fair?
Yeah.
Now, that card is unique to you because you don't have a habit of signing playing cards. Actually, probably if anybody had a habit of signing playing cards, it's you, because I don't think there's many people that sign as many playing cards as you.
To be fair, you signed them on my behalf, which is also weird.
Which is kind of weird. But I couldn't have known that you would have picked the 3 of clubs. Now, do you remember from the very beginning, I've had this prediction here, folded up, yeah? And I said that from the very beginning, this folded up card was going to predict what you would do.
Yeah.
If I told you that this actually predicted that you picked the 3 of clubs, would that be good?
Yeah.
Well, not only does it predict that you picked the 3 of clubs, it predicted how you'd sign your name. Boom.
My God.
There you go. And that's her card. And it, like I say, it's an instant reset. All I have to do is put that in my pocket as I'm walking away. I do something and it instantly resets. Although on the download that comes with this, Etienne talks about how you can openly take a card, fold it up and put it into the bulldog clip and then put it down and say, I'm going to make a prediction. One thing I like to do is I like to have a stranger card. So I like to have a stranger card at the bottom of the deck that's got a different coloured back. And what I do is I do a Garriolet touch for. So they touch a card and I upjog it so they can see the back of the card. And then I show it them like this. And I'll openly have them sign it. And then I just do a double undercut, losing their card in the middle. So now it's here with a stranger back. And I do the Mercury card fold at that point. And then this has got a card in from a different deck. And then I do the switch. And I show that that card has actually turned into their signed card. It's absolutely amazing. I'm giving it 100%. It is well worth getting one of these. They're very inexpensive. For a working professional magician, these are worth their weight in gold. You can pick them up now from Etienne Pradier. Okay, so I want to give you a sneak peek of an upcoming interview now. This is an interview that we've recently just shot and it's currently being edited, and it is with Paul Gordon. Now, a lot of people have been asking for me to interview Paul Gordon on this channel. Paul is a very prolific creator of card magic. I'm sure a lot of people have seen Paul's work before. He talks in detail about his career and about creating magic and everything that he's done throughout his career. It's a fascinating interview. It really is. I think you guys are going to love it when it drops. I wanted to give you a sneak peek of it, and I'm going to do that right now. But seriously, keep an eye on the Talk Magic schedule, because when this drops, I think it's going to be very, very popular. You're sitting there with a pack of cards one day, and the next day you've got this book in front of you.
Yeah.
How do you go from?
Well, there's a few things. I mean, the first thing is that, say, for instance, the history behind easy ace estimation. Ed Marlowe published Marlowe's Miracle Aces in 1964, but it was very advanced and, in my opinion, not very practical, but also not very theatrical, because it just did 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3 cuts, 4 cuts, and it was difficult to do. You needed a brand new deck, da 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 da. So 30 odd years ago, I thought I'd like the similar effect, but I want it to be easy. I want it to be done with any deck. I'd like it to make it more theatrical with some more changes down the line. And so basically I fiddled around with it, and I came up, without blowing the secret, but I came up with the fact that you can do it with a borrowed deck. You use the straddle barrow, which, as you know, is really easy to do. You get this extra bit of business with the third ace. And so it just, in my opinion, it turns a very advanced, slightly impractical routine into a table hopper for weddings and parties and trade shows and pubs and clubs. Yeah. So that's kind of one way. The other is having a brainstorm about an idea. I think if you've got enough books and you are that deep with it, you just kind of, things happen. And I mean, for instance, I mean, I'm not as aggrieved as other people may think I am, but I know you didn't like my stunner routine.
It's not your best work, no.
Right. Let me just try and defend it. And if you still hate it, that's fine. But the way I do it, and I'm going to I can't really do it for you here, but I'm going to try and do it for you. The way I kind of work is, I'm going to do easy ace estimation, and I'll say to somebody, shuffle the cards, give the cards a good shuffle, take out the aces, and then shuffle them again if you want. Now, whilst that is happening, it's a bit boring, isn't it? You know, they're doing all the business.
Yeah.
So I will then say, oh, by the way, folks, whilst Bill's doing that, let me just tell you, many, many years ago, I got a poker hand, really so bad, I kept it. And here it is. Here's my poker hand. In fact, look at that. That's a lousy hand, that. We've got a 4, a 6, a 4, a 6, and a 10, 2 4s, 2 6s. That's no good at all. Now, when I was playing that game of cards, you're still shuffling, by the way. Yeah, keep shuffling. Whilst I was playing that game, I kept the cards close to my chest, and I thought, if only I could switch these whilst nobody was noticing. And that's what I did. I switched them at my speed. Did you see that? Did you see the switch? No. I got myself, can you see that? I got myself a royal flush in spades. It's brilliant, isn't it? But I couldn't use the bloody thing because they all came from different decks. Anyway, have you shuffled? And that's it. So it's an interim bit of business. The cards go straight back in my pocket, which resolves one of the issues you had. They go straight back in the pocket, and I carry on. So it takes about 10, 20 seconds, and it's an interim trick, and that's all it is.
Yeah. In that context, it's fine. It's absolutely fine. And I'm a firm believer of having routines that you do while dead time is happening in an act, whether that be you're talking, you're gagging, you're making jokes, or whether it be, a lot of the time I'll do some Sharpie manipulation. I'll because I do a lot of Sharpie stuff. So I mean that I'm a big believer of doing that sort of thing. My issue with it is, if you're going to present it as a trick in its own right.
Oh, no.
It's because here's the thing: you've created thousands of card tricks.
Yeah.
That trick, in my opinion, isn't as strong as some of the other stuff you've created. Why would you do that over something else and present it as, well, let me show you something else right now, and focus everyone's attention on it as a trick in its own right? Okay, guys, so one thing that I want to talk to you about on this 5x5 is a particular trick that I do at weddings that works really, really well for the bride and groom. And this isn't something that you would automatically think of as a wedding trick, but it works really, really well. And I'm seeing now, with COVID kind of at least seeming like it's going to come close to the end, I'm seeing a lot of people now inquiring for weddings. And I think, at least in the UK, we're going to be having a lot of weddings over the next few months. So I think making sure that we have the right material for a wedding is very, very important. I've talked on the channel in the past about bride and groom tricks. One thing that I like to do when I'm performing with a bride and groom is talk about synergy. I like to kind of have this presentational hook of, you know, you guys have been together for a while now, so have you ever been in a situation where somebody says something and the other person's thinking of it, or one person will start talking and the other person will finish their sentence, or you think about ringing your partner at a particular time, and when you think about ringing them, the phone rings. These aren't things that happen coincidentally. This is what happens that when you are together as a couple for a certain amount of time, this just happens. So let's try and experiment with that. Now that's the hook that I use, and it's a great hook to really bring people in. And then I go into the diary trick. Now the diary trick is not a trick that you would normally think of when you're thinking about routines for a bride and groom, but this works really well. Now this particular version, it's not the original chronologue. I'm performing a variation of the birthday book, which is the idea of having a memorized deck. This is in mnemonica, written out in a diary. The first person I saw this was Mike Close in his Workers series. What I've done is, rather than doing it as a prediction, I've done it as kind of a coincidence effect, or a demonstration of synergy. Let me perform this for Sarah so you can see exactly what I'm talking about. So in performance, I would take this diary and I would give it to somebody to hold on to. So let's just pretend that I've given this to Sarah to hold on to, and Sarah's behind the camera, and I've got a deck in play, and this is a memorized deck. So either I've been using a regular deck and I've switched in a memorized deck, or I've been doing some other stuff with mem decks as well. And then I would say, now Sarah, I've got a diary here. I want you to hold on to this for me. We're going to get back to that in a second. And what I want you to do is, when I snap my fingers, I want you to think of a date and name it out loud. It can be any date at all. It's completely up to you. I do not mind which date you are going to go for, but I want you to name it out loud. It can be any day, any of the 365 days of the year. Could you do that for me right now? Name a date.
12th of April.
On my birthday. Okay.
Is that too easy?
No, it's fine, it's fine. And you're happy with the 12th of April? You don't want to change your mind? You're happy with the 12th of April? Is that cool?
Yeah.
Okay, fantastic. And then I would say to the groom or the other person, can you cut the cards for me? So if you could cut the deck for me, Sarah, that would be amazing. Yeah, because you're going to be the groom as well as the bride.
Yeah, thanks.
There you go, cut the deck right there. And what we'll do is we'll just mark the cut. Okay, we'll get back to that later on. Now, can you take this diary that you've been holding on to the whole time? And what I would like you to do is have a look up the 12th of April for me. And you'll notice there's a different card next to each date.
Yeah.
When you've got the 12th of April, tell me. Have you got the 12th of April?
Yeah.
Perfect. And there's a card at that date.
There is.
And does the card there, does it appear anywhere else on that page? Or the page before, or the page after, or anywhere near? So if you'd thought of a totally different date, it would have been a totally different card. Yeah. What was the card that's there next to the 12th of April?
The 5th. Oh no, not the 5th. The 5 of spades.
The 5 of spades. And you cut the deck right here, didn't you, Mr. Groom? And they say yes. And you say, isn't it interesting that you picked out a date with the 5 of spades?
Yeah.
And they cut to the 5 of spades. It's a really strong routine. It really, really is. Now, you don't have to use a mem deck. Anybody who knows how the birthday book uses, you could have a regular shuffle deck in use, and you'd have to kind of spread through, find the card and cull it. But the nice thing about using a mem deck is I can just give the deck one cut or a couple of cuts and I can get into the same position. But just by applying the birthday book to a crosscut force really allows you to give a really strong demonstration in synergy. So if you haven't thought about doing it that way, instead of as a prediction, do it instead as a demonstration of synergy. And I promise you, the reactions it gets are absolutely off the wall. So you can learn the birthday book. As I say, you don't need to use a mem deck, but you can learn the birthday book. The best place is Michael Close's Workers number 5. So there you go, guys. That's another 5x5 finished with, in the bag, as Riley would say. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. And I seriously advise you to go and get that Barking Dog by Etienne. It is an amazing product, and it is something that I guarantee that you will use. But as I say, let me know in the comments down below what you think. If you want to see more videos like this, please do me a favor and subscribe to the channel. Leave a comment down below, like the video, and also follow us on Instagram Instagram as well. All the links are appearing around the screen. And I'm going to be back again tomorrow with another video. I'm going to be back tomorrow with a Talk Magic at 9 o'clock, a short at 2 o'clock, and a Magic Live at 6 o'clock. So once again, thanks very much for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.